March 15th, 44 BCE. The most powerful man in Rome walks into a room, surrounded by friends. Within minutes, he will be stabbed 23 times. Not by enemies, not by invading armies, but by the very men sworn to protect the Republic. This is not just the story of a murder. This is the day a civilization changed forever. By 44 BCE, Julius Caesar was more than a general. He was a living legend. He had conquered Gaul, expanding Rome's territory farther than ever before. He had defeated his rival Pompey in a brutal civil war. He had marched his armies across Europe with unmatched precision and returned to Rome as its undisputed master. The people adored him. But Rome was not meant to have kings. Centuries earlier, the Romans had overthrown their monarchy and built a republic, a system designed to prevent any one man from holding absolute power. And yet, Caesar was beginning to look exactly like the thing Rome feared most. He declared himself dictator for life. His statues stood across the city, his face appeared on coins, an honor traditionally reserved for gods and long-dead heroes. Senators were required to rise when he entered the room. Some even claimed he planned to crown himself king. To the common citizens, Caesar was a reformer. He forgave enemies, he restructured debt, he gave land to veterans. He stabilized Rome after years of civil war. But to many senators, he was something far more dangerous. He was permanent power, and permanent power meant the end of the Republic. So they began to whisper. Over 60 senators secretly formed a conspiracy. They called themselves the Liberators. They believed they were patriots, men willing to stain their hands with blood to save their country. Among them were two key figures, Cassius, sharp and calculating, and Brutus. Brutus was different. Caesar trusted him, favored him, protected him. Some even whispered that Caesar saw him almost as a son. But Brutus believed something greater was at stake. He believed that if Caesar lived, Rome would die. This was not a crime of passion. It was a political execution planned with chilling precision. The date was chosen carefully, March 15th, the Ides of March. And yet, there were warnings. A soothsayer reportedly approached Caesar in public and delivered a cryptic message, "Beware the Ides of March." Caesar dismissed him. The night before the Senate meeting, his wife Calpurnia awoke terrified from a nightmare. She claimed she saw his statue bleeding, Rome drowning in chaos. She begged him not to go. For a moment, Caesar hesitated. But power creates confidence, and confidence can silence fear. He had survived war, assassination attempts, political enemies. Why would senators dare attack him in the heart of Rome? So, on March 15th, 44 BCE, Julius Caesar walked to the Senate, unarmed, unprotected. The conspirators had chosen the location carefully. The meeting would take place in the theater of Pompeii. No soldiers were allowed inside. Caesar's personal guard would remain outside the chamber. As he entered, the senators greeted him normally. No raised voices, no visible weapons. He took his seat. One of the conspirators approached him under the pretense of presenting a petition. Others gathered close, as if supporting the request. Then suddenly, a hand grabbed Caesar's toga. Before he could react, a blade struck. The first wound was shallow. Caesar stood, stunned but not yet afraid. Then another dagger pierced his body, and another, and another. The senators swarmed him. Steel flashed in every direction. Chaos erupted in the chamber. Some of the attackers even wounded each other in the frenzy. Caesar reportedly tried to fight back at first, But when he saw Brutus among the assassins, something changed. According to legend, he uttered the words, "Et tu, Brutus," and if you too, Brutus, then fall Caesar. Whether those exact words were spoken remains debated. Ancient sources differ. Some claim he said nothing at all. But what is certain is this: when he recognized Brutus, he stopped resisting. He pulled his toga over his face and fell at the base of a statue of Pompey, the rival he had defeated years before. He had been stabbed 23 times. Only one wound was truly fatal. The rest were expressions of fear. When it was over, the most powerful man in the known world lay dead on the cold marble floor. The conspirators stepped back, breathless. They had done it. Rome was free. Or so they thought. They marched into the streets declaring themselves saviors of the Republic. But instead of celebration, they were met with confusion, then anger. The Roman people did not rejoice. They mourned. Caesar had been popular. He had brought stability after chaos. Many saw him as a protector of the poor and the veterans. At his funeral, Mark Antony delivered a speech that would ignite the city. With calculated emotion, he read Caesar's will aloud. Caesar had left money to the citizens of Rome. He had donated his private gardens to the public. The crowd turned. Grief transformed into rage. The liberators were no longer heroes. They were traitors. Riots broke out. Violence spread. Rome descended once again into civil war. Brutus and Cassius fled the city, eventually raising armies in the east, but they were pursued by Caesar's loyal supporters. Among them was a young, quiet figure few had taken seriously, Octavian, Caesar's adopted heir. Only 19 years old, cold, patient, strategic. Over the next few years, alliances shifted, battles raged, blood was spilled across the Republic. Eventually, Octavian defeated Brutus and Cassius. Both men took their own lives rather than face capture. And when the dust finally settled, Rome stood transformed. The Republic, the system the conspirators claimed to protect, was gone. In its place rose something new: the Roman Empire. Octavian would take a new name, Augustus, the first emperor of Rome. The assassination of Julius Caesar did not restore democracy. It accelerated its collapse. In trying to prevent one man from becoming king, the conspirators ensured that emperors would rule Rome for centuries. History remembers the daggers. History remembers betrayal. But the real question still lingers. Was Caesar a tyrant in the making, or a reformer cut down too soon? Did Brutus save Rome, or did he destroy the very thing he swore to protect? Power, fear, loyalty, betrayal. On the Ides of March, Rome did not simply lose a leader.